go ahead and use the raised hand feature, and we'll open it straight to questions. Daryl, get us going.
Yeah, John, you recently told us that fresh minds and fresh legs win in the end. Yet because of injuries, you've been playing five guys close to 40 minutes. Is there a concern there, the balance there?
Well, the fresh legs and minds are not just 2 games a week. It's what are you doing with all the other time, which is probably more than what you're doing with the games. When I coached at UMass and we were playing 5 and 6 guys, we just had really shortened versions of practice. Our thing yesterday was an hour and we didn't do anything at each other. It was more of a cerebral on the court, do some shooting, here we go. Today will be a little different. Back then I was practicing an hour and 15, 20 minutes because we got what we needed in the games. I think this team needs a little bit more than that because we're trying to get other guys ready who maybe not playing as much. But it all is the same. Fresh minds, fresh bodies, fresh. Here we go. Excited about the next game. But it's what I try to do every year. But it's different. In 2014, our practices were 3 hours at this time. I started 5 freshmen. If you remember, we struggled until the tournament. Tweaked a couple things, and all of a sudden we went on a run. But we needed more work. We needed to be in the gym more.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good.
Eric Musselman was saying, 2 years ago when you guys had the big comeback after you got tossed, that maybe Arkansas, the players weren't emotionally ready to handle that. They were a little too amped up. Now he feels like, you look at them beating Auburn, beating Tennessee, they're maybe better mentally. I don't know if you can discern this from watching them on tape, but do they look like a mature team? And I guess what are you expecting from them coming into this environment?
Well, first of all, what I've seen, they will scramble up the game, but they never really seem to be out of control. So they're disciplined in what they're doing. They're running motion and curl cuts and, spin cuts and back doors and all the stuff that they're doing, but there's some organization to it. Yet, whether it's offense or defense, they'll scramble up the game a little bit. They play really hard. They don't let go of the rope at any point in any game I've watched. I watched the Alabama game. They never stopped. They just gave themselves a chance. And, whether it be what happened with Tennessee and how hard they play, they're not going to beat themselves. You got to go in there and you got to beat them. And it's really hard to do.
I was wondering what Wheeler and Washington's status is for this game. But thanks.
I don't know. I have not seen them today.
On that point, everybody's having a little fun with the I haven't seen them thing with injury updates. Can you just explain a little bit? What is your process with your medical staff and getting updates on guys? I know you probably don't want the opponent to know what's going on, but how do you handle all those things?
I am not like, if they don't play, they don't play. I mean, I'm not, they may call me the night before and won't call me. They text me and say, we're going to see in the morning if he's available. Right now, I have not met with our trainer. I have not seen either kid. I'll know before we start that they're going to go practice, and then we'll practice. And if they don't practice, we'll practice and get ready for the game. I mean, when it's day to day, I'm not going to force a kid to play. Now, there may be a point where I say, you know what? I'm not going to let you play today. You need more rest. Let's go. But it's a combination of all that stuff.
Oscar's talked a lot about how much he loves contact. I'm curious, from your perspective, how unique his mindset is, kind of going and getting the ball and how physically he makes the game.
He's got a 7'4" wingspan. And he's got a body that's 255 pounds with 6% body fat. That makes him different. He rebounds. You ready for this? For some reason, they find him. You know why? he attempts to rebound. So when you don't attempt to rebound because it's too physical, because you got bumped, accepting the block out. You go to get blocked out, you just lean on the guy. You won't believe this. You're not going to rebound. If you attempt to rebound, you attempt to avoid the block out, you have a chance to rebound. And then if you're 255 pounds with 4% body fat and your arms are 7'4" and you got big hands and you're been taught to rebound with two hands, everything with two hands, you have a chance to get a lot of rebounds.
John, one of the most frustrating things for us in watching the games now are these incessant replay reviews. Has your opinion of those changed at all? And maybe more importantly, what are you doing to kind of leverage that extra time in coaching your team?
Not trying to leverage it. It's frustrating. And I would tell you that if you wonder why I went crazy the other game is because everybody saw the slap in the face. We all saw it. TV saw it. Camera crew saw it. What took you 3 minutes? And then you go meet with the coach. My guy's at the free throw line waiting to shoot a free throw, and you're having a dialogue about whatever. Couldn't have been that play because there was a face slap. That's why I got upset. Let's play. Let's go. Let's play. And all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. It wasn't me questioning anything. It was just, let's go. Speed this thing up. Part of it was my guy was shooting a free throw. After waiting 5 minutes, what did he do with the free throw? He missed it. So you're right. Needs to be done quicker. Needs to meet with both coaches. It's a 4-second this is what happened. Here's the call. We're not discussing. Let's go. Boom. Let's go play.
Yeah, Cal, in the LSU game, we saw Kellen have a productive offensive game without relying on the three-point shot very much. I'm kind of wondering the situation without Tata and Severe, the value in him learning to play that way, being forced to play that way almost.
He and Davion both have been trained as point guards, so they know the position. They know how to play it. They're just not as fast as Xavier, and they're not as crafty as Tai. But they can play the position. The issue becomes 40 minutes. That becomes an issue. And, but you do what you do. Instead of strategic timeouts, I'm calling a timeout before a TV timeout to give those two extra break. So I may call it at 12:30, and everybody says, why would he have called a timeout when in 30 seconds there was another one? That's why, because in 30 seconds, there was another one. Now, all of a sudden, they get 2-3 minutes to catch their breath before they have to go out again. So, you have to do some things a little different if you're going to leave them on the floor. And I've tried to do some subbing, but you're watching the game just like I am. Doesn't go well. So you have to leave them in.
Yeah, John, I was talking to Dan Issel recently about Oscar's rebounding. He kind of said he has Wes Unseld's tenacity and Paul Silas's instinct. I'm wondering how rare is that instinct to know where the ball is going to come off as soon as it's released almost?
Well, I think they're that's a heck of a compliment, by the way, for him to say that. And but I would say, are you? And I'm going after this ball, or the first time I'm touched, I'm stopping, and I have an excuse. This kid goes after every single ball, and he puts his hands up in the air and he jumps. Why? At times I get upset. He gets whacked like crazy, and you're all watching it just like me. And then his hands are up, but his body touched the guy. That's a foul on him. Just, look, you it can't be one way. Just if you're calling them all, call them all. If you're letting them go, let them go. And we will all figure it out how we have to play the game. But he's a kid that just, you say like a nose for the ball. Well, that's rebound attempts. Now, if I don't know if you know, because you guys don't really know rules or anything, but do you know that when they block out facing him, you do know that's a foul, right? So if the shot goes up and the guy goes to block him out like that, facing him, that is an automatic foul. If two guys get it, you take your choice who you called on, but it's an automatic foul. They can put their butt on him. They can turn. That's a blockout. That is a foul. Automatic foul. So as you watch the game, you kind of get the gist of, okay, how are they trying to keep this kid away from the goal? They got to do something. The best thing you can do you want me to give you a secret? And I don't want you to tell anybody. Recruit a guy that's 255 pounds with 7-foot wingspan, 7'4", that goes after the ball. You recruit that guy. The other stuff, I know you're trying. We have to. He's too big and all that. And that's why I just say, hey, call the game. It's his advantage. Call the game.
Two more, Jerry and then Christos.
Yeah, John, I hope I can ask too. As you know, Arkansas's a big guy, Jalen Williams, has a knack for taking charges. He's very kind of a thinking man's player. What advice or what challenge is that for Oscar?
Charge or a block or a flop or, I mean, he doesn't lower his shoulder. It's not how he plays. And you just have to count on people knowing, is that a charge, a block, or is it a flop? But I'll say this. He has really improved. He's gotten so much better. Skill with the ball, ability to shoot. He's really gotten better. Really impressed with him.
And Kellen was on here earlier, and he was talking about Senior Day Tuesday. How would you describe the impact he's made this year? How should he be remembered?
I mean, here's a young man that gave everything he could to this program and was a great, great teammate. And I've said this before, good teams have good players. Great teams have great teammates. And he is a great teammate. I could say the same thing about Davion. They've given everything to this team. If they have to score or they get it going, fine. If someone else does, those two were the first two to go after Bryce and hug him and laugh and be happy. The same with Damian, the same with Keon. I mean, when he had his big game. So, I mean, I think, again, we've been fortunate that he decided that he wanted to come here for that last year. And hopefully he looks at it and says he was fortunate too, because that's how this is supposed to work. It's supposed to benefit him as a player, and it's supposed to benefit the program.
Christos, finish us off.
Coach, hope you're doing well, first of all. Speaking about Kellen's season so far and the progress that he made as the season goes on, game by game, what and the responsibilities that he took on the games, what does it speak for you? What does it mean about his progress, about his work ethic and more? How and what is his ceiling from your perspective?
Well, the other thing is he's had some injuries that he's played through. That's mental toughness. Like he was going, he's like, hey, I'm getting a chance to start and play at Kentucky. I'm not taking days off. Are you crazy? He would not take a day off. Second thing, very intelligent. He's made suggestions in the games that are like he's coaching. And so he works at it. He's focused. He's engaged. He has a laser focus on game planning, and he's able to talk his teammates through stuff. It's like having another coach on the floor.